Good morning. So how are we this morning?
Good, very good. Thank you. Really, really good.
Good. So I want to kind of start with you telling me a little bit about yourself and your business.
Okay. So my name's Rachael. I run a business with my husband. We specialise in the design and build of events, exhibitions, retail. The business has been established for quite a few years, but I've been slowly transitioning into the business. And in January this year, I was able to leave my job, my part-time job, and focus on the business full-time, which was so exciting for me, but obviously came with lots of new challenges.
Okay. So now what I want you to do is kind of tell me about the main struggles that you had kind of before you even started this program. So just tell me a few of the struggles that you had.
So I think for me, it was, I think sort of in January when I started, so I was full-time in my business, I was putting so much focus and energy, I was super committed. I was actually working with another business coach at the time, which was also brilliant, but I could just recognise, so although I was making such great progress, first of all, I wasn't at all celebrating anything I was doing. I always felt like I needed to do more. I was working way too much. That sort of balance between my kind of personal life, my work life, everything was out of balance. And I think I just had this huge sort of guilt feeling, and when I wasn't working on my business. And I think that the whole business was consuming me. Mm-hmm. And I think I just wasn't able to, I just didn't know how to kind of break that. And we were achieving so much at the time. And I could just recognize that, I was reading loads of books and feeding myself with all this positive information, but I kind of wasn't believing it.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I needed, so I was progressing so well in business, but I just needed something. I needed to sort this out. But I just didn't know, I thought I was doing everything I possibly could to keep moving forward, I guess. Yeah.
And then what kind of, a lot of people get scared about kind of hiring a coach and kind of did you have any kind of reservations about hiring a coach?
Yeah, I think it's always scary. Like to commit to one person, how do you know if they're right for you? How much they're going to give to you, whether their program is right for you at all, So yeah. I think that is always difficult. So the previous year I had invested quite a bit in other sort of training, and in January when I went full time, I decided to invest in a business coach. So I think that sort of investment side of things I got. But yeah. I think every time you invest more and you invest more, you kind of, there's always that feeling of, well, maybe now I should stop investing in myself and I should start investing in my business. And I should start, investing in people or machinery or, whatever it is, marketing I think that's the hardest thing. And obviously with any financial commitment, you kind of, it's tough to part with your money.
Yeah.
It's not like you're buying something and you're seeing that product that you bought. It's a process, isn't it? And I think that's the hardest thing. And I think once you change that way of, you see the success and you see how powerful it can be, it's a game changer. But
yeah. And even as a coach, like I always talk about this, like before, obviously, when I hired my coach, it was like I always talk about, it was $5,000 investments. It was a big investment investment, I was petrified because exactly the same things you talk about. Yes, I'd stalked her for a while. I'd been on her group. I'd kind of watched her videos. So I loved her vibe. And then obviously I got on a call with her, but was I ready to make that investment? I was like, oh, that's way too much money. And I came off the phone and I was like convincing myself why I was never going to put this money in. It was just too much money. I just couldn't do it. And then I kind of struggled on my own for 2 months. Then I was like, Tash, who are you kidding? Okay, you need to sort this before even the business can come. And yes, like I get, even when I speak to clients when I'm first on the call with them, I get what it feels like to hand that money over. It is a risk. That's why I say stalk me until you really want to find that connection. You're ready to go to the next level. And that's why I think it's so important to I love sharing, client testimonials, and your story is incredible. So I was like, right, I want to jump on a call with you because I think it's so powerful to hear other people say, listen, yes, I get it. It was scary. It was a big investment, but I'm so glad I've done it. Yeah. So kind of leading on to that then, so why did you pick the Mindset Makeover?
So I guess, well, as you said, you sort of, so I don't know, and I've said this to you before, I don't know how you appeared on my Facebook. And it seemed like such a perfect time because I was struggling with my mindset, and I knew I needed some focus and something different from what my sort of business coach was giving me. Mm-hmm. I think in terms of the Mindset Makeover Programme, as you said, you kind of, I joined the Thrive tribe, and I watched your videos, and I went on stalked you a bit. I went on I think it's a masterclass where you can kind of register, and I did that sort of one Sunday, and I started to, there was so many things that you were saying that I really resonated with. So I then thought, you know what, and that's when I think I bought the gratitude journal, which is here actually.
Yay!
Always do it in the morning.
Good.
And then yeah, you offer this sort of clarity call, and I think during that clarity call, so the masterclass and then the clarity call, I think there was just so many things that you were saying that I could really made me realize that the program was different from, it's not just about kind of looking at your business and kind of tearing it apart and then building it up and scaling up and, achieving more money and doing, big things. And it's about going kind of more internal to get more sort of external benefits. And that's exactly what so as you explained the content and everything, I just knew that it was right for me at this time. Mm-hmm. And it just seemed to all kind of fall in place. And I think it's so easy for, when you're focused on business and building and scaling up, you focus on everything that you're doing around you, but you kind of don't stop and look at inwards.
Absolutely. Yeah, you get so consumed with just the work side of it and the business, and you've got to push yourself, and it's like, but you are the business, and you need to make sure that you're the best version of yourself before the business can scale and everything. So it's so important. And what I remember about our call is we had our call, and I was like, and you were like, I'm ready to go right now. And I remember you saying, but our purse is back in the office and I've got to drive. Trust me, I definitely want to sign up. But so can I just quickly ask you, what made you kind of say yes, and rather than going, oh, can I have some time, which, naturally people get scared about the investments to go, oh, I want some time to think. So what made you jump it and go, I'm doing it right now?
I think at the time, so I remember the day so clearly. So we'd booked the clarity call, and I was absolutely stressing because we were doing a massive event, and I was rushing to and from places, and I thought, God, this time I shouldn't have booked it, and I don't know why I've booked this, and I could be doing something so much better with my time. And I think when I jumped on the call and actually, I think when I booked the call, I remember sending you a message saying, Natasha, I'm currently working with a business coach. So my plan isn't to invest at the moment, but let's have the clarity call. And honestly, that's what, so, you know, my previous business coach was expensive, and, you know, I would have to kind of justify that in my business. And, you know, where do you stop? Like, you could continue to, you know, at some point you need to go, right, okay, I think I've got all the tools, I need to crack on with my business, you know. But I was so sure when I jumped on the call that I wasn't going to sign up to it, because I didn't know what it really was, but I knew that I probably shouldn't commit financially at that stage. But just talking to you, I think I realised there were so many things that you kind of asked me during that call that it was really quite challenging, but I had never thought of myself. And I think also kind of just how real and honest, and it just kind of felt like I was talking to somebody that, like a friend that cared, but had all this great information and just a few like real nuggets of information that I took from that. And I just knew during that call, I was like, I owe it to myself to invest at this point, because otherwise I'm just not going to be happy. And what's the point in doing this whole journey, you know, of business if I don't help myself. So, and, you know, and I think when we spoke about then signing up to the program at the end, it was like, I've got to do it. I've got to go now, you know? And I think if you don't commit there and then it's so easy to put it off after.
Absolutely. And that is such an important nugget, because that was me. I didn't have those balls. I got off the phone and I was like, oh no. And I found every reason why I shouldn't invest. And I didn't have the money, but then I still invested into a website and a fancy photo shoot for what? When really I needed to sort this. And then I had to come back and call her and say, listen, actually, I want to work with you. So for me, I always get a good feeling when I'm on a call. That's why I do a clarity call. It's for me to kind of, for you guys, whoever I'm on the call, to suss me out, but also for me to go, is this the right fit? Because what I want from the Mindset Makeover is results. That's all I want. I do not want people to pay me and then at the end they go, that was rubbish. That's not good for me. And I certainly don't want to do that to my clients. So I always have a feeling. And then when I was talking to you, you know, when you get those butterfly things and I was like, oh my God, she just like the right fit. And then at the end you were like, yeah, I'm in, I'm ready to go. And I was like, yes, great. I know you just get a feeling, you know, with the people that you really, really want to work with. So I was really touched. I was like, yes, we're going to make some good results. So about results, tell us about some of the things that you've kind of had whilst going on with the program.
God, it's so, I think you really, you know, there's so much content and you need each week. So I think you need to be committed to do the program. You know, you won't get results if you're not fully committed. And that's hard when you're running a business. And, you know, I found it quite challenging sometimes to do all the work, but you really need to be ready to commit to it. I think, yeah, there's so many things I've taken from it. It's quite hard to you know, and through those 8 weeks, it's just full of amazing stuff. It was such a big eye-opener for me, I think. And I think just getting real clarity on me and where I was going. Like, I thought I knew what I wanted, but actually it made me completely kind of refocus and consider everything that I was doing. I think, you know, one of the biggest things is just realizing that, you know, through this journey, you've got to be kind to yourself. And, you know, I think you forget that when you're so determined and, you know, running a business, you have to be like hugely motivated, dedicated. You're so committed to what you're doing that you forget about you. And, you know, I think on maybe week 2 and 3, it was at week 2 when we had a call, and it was really quite challenging on the call. And I remember you really pushing me, but I got so much from it. And I think just realizing, I think celebrating my wins and what I've achieved and how far I've come, and also just being kinder to yourself. So allowing yourself time to look after yourself and focus inwards. And if you stop work at 5 o'clock, it's not a bad thing. If you leave your laptop in the office, it's not a bad thing. Like, you need that time to really focus and nurture yourself before you can give to do all those other things. I think that is absolutely the key for me. Was like the biggest game changer was just like self-love and self-care, and just realizing how hard I was being on myself.
Yes.
Which is mad. Yeah. Like, I would, if I wasn't in my business working on it, even if I didn't have massive things to do, I just had this huge guilt, this sense of, if I was spending time with friends and family, I felt like that the business was always pulling me back. And now this has changed. I enjoy everything so much more, and I allow myself to.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
And I remember, obviously, each week there'd be like something amazing kind of that would change with you, and I'd be like, yes, and then you'd message me some of your wins, and I'd always be like, this is so great. So throughout the whole kind of 8 weeks, so throughout obviously all the content and all the phone calls, kind of our sessions that we had, our Skype sessions, what would you say was the biggest kind of result, or your biggest kind of success to take from the Mindset Makeover?
I did this for business. My focus when I signed up, it was like, this is going to help my business, but actually it's so much more than that. It's not just, the whole Mindset Makeover Programme is so much greater than just getting results from your business. I think, learning how to, so my morning routine, my gratitude journal, which is absolutely is just a massive game changer. I think, I never thought I would be somebody that would take time out. I was always somebody that was like, right, I'll use my, my first hour of my day to bang out 20 emails and get on top of my work and things. And actually to take that time for me, first of all, where I would, do my gratitude journal, I would, I meditate, so many things. And it hasn't been easy. There's things, the gratitude journal was just such an easy thing. After, day 3, I was like, I need this in my life all the time. And whenever I travel, whatever, it's just like, it comes with me. And I think that has been the biggest success. I think changing your morning routine, I just feel that, by having that inward focus, when I go to work, I'm just so much better, and people are getting the best versions of me. I go there now when you practice gratitude, and I know you, Natasha, go on and on about gratitude, but it's massive. It is. You can't help, once you start being grateful, everything is just, you're just so much more positive, and everything you're grateful for, and even some of your real challenges, you realize that they're just, they're challenges, and you're going to build, and you're going to learn, and and it's just, and I think that's probably the biggest thing. As well as the confidence, and just learning how how to be more true to myself, I think.
Absolutely. And so, as obviously the program is an investment,
Yeah.
would you say it was the best investment you've ever made?
Yes.
Good. So, and that's what I think is really important, because, like, you know, working with a coach, it is an investment. And I think a lot of people think, oh, it's an investment that I don't really need to do right now. It's a lot of money. You know, that's all kind of limiting beliefs that we would need to work on anyway, if I heard that from a client, because that was me with my client, with my coach. I can't afford this. Automatically, I'm putting those blocks up. I'm already having that negative story. She could tell I had, you know, money blocks around me that I needed to work on, which was so true, which now I don't have that. And like you said, self-development is something that kind of continues to go. I'm a coach now. I've been doing this 2 years, you know, doing full-time coaching. In regards to kind of up-leveling my coaching, I now work with coaches that are triple the amount of what I paid at first, you know, but that's because self-development to me as a coach, I want to become the best coach there is in the world. Like, that is what I want to do. I want to help thousands and millions of women become the best versions of themselves. So for me to do that, I need to keep up leveling. I need to keep learning and keep grasping and growing as a coach. So for me, it's something I was so against, like, oh my gosh, it's so much money, to it's key into who I am. Like, everything I am today with regards to my job and who I am is because I hired coaches. Absolutely. And I'm not afraid to say that, because whether it's business or mindset, I do both. For me, it's absolutely key for who I am. So kind of, what advice would you give to anybody that's kind of thinking, yeah, I'd love to work with Natasha, or I'd love to do the mindset program, but, you know, the investment, I'm struggling with money, for example. What advice would you give them?
So I think actually the investment is necessary so that I think, you know, when you invest financially, there is you are determined to get everything out of the program, you know, and that is key. Is that I know some of those weeks I was so busy. We've had the most crazy summer, and to think that I managed to find time to do that, you know, I think if you haven't financially invested, you're just not going to get, you know, if you handed me that program and said, here you go, this is for free, go and do it, I probably wouldn't have. And I wouldn't have, you know, I would have just put maybe those calls off, or I just wouldn't have, oh, Natasha, I'm sorry, I could only do half of the program this week. You know, when you've committed, and there's something about a financial commitment, I think, that you just want the most. Like, I was determined every week to do as much as I could to move forward. And those sessions with you, I was always prepared, always so ready to take everything I could from it. So I think, you know, I know everyone's in a very different position in terms of, you know, and what is a lot of money to one person might not be a lot to another. But I think having somebody that you're accountable to through this journey is really important. I try to do it on my own. I try to feed my brain with all this positive stuff. Like, I'm not a negative person. I always, you know, I read books, I, you know, listen to podcasts, I do everything I possibly can, but I just wasn't believing in it. And I think having somebody that points things out to you, that helps you along that journey, it's really such an eye-opening thing. And I think, you know, you need, I would say with you, Natasha, like, you're so real and you're so kind of down to earth that it's very easy to be open. Like, I think sometimes coaches, and I know you've said it in a couple of your videos, but coaches kind of put themselves up here, and they feel kind of too far out of touch with you, and they don't. But I think you talk from experience, and you really feel like you've been there, you've done it, like you get it, you understand, and that's so powerful when you're working on yourself.
Yeah.
And I think so I just, you know, I think, but even if you can't, for whatever reason you can't commit financially at the moment, I think, you know, continue to watch the videos that you post, and, you know, start journaling, buy a gratitude journal. It's like, absolutely incredible, you know, or just start journaling and being, you know, practice gratitude. It's so powerful.
It is. It's a game changer. And,
Yeah.
you know, the reason why I love doing what I do is because I get to work with people like you, because you've been an absolute dream client. I have loved our time together. And for something that I love to do so much, I'm really picky because, and this is the God's honest truth, I don't work with everybody that I speak to on the clarity calls, because it's got to work for both of us. Like I mentioned before about results, but also I love what I do. I don't want to think, oh, this is going to be a really difficult call. I don't want to feel like that. So I always work with my dream clients, and you 1,000,000% are one of them. So I just want to say thank you for giving me 8 amazing weeks. It's been so great. And it's what's been so amazing is seeing your journey. Honestly, from when I first kind of started with you to now, I'm so proud. I'm like, yes, this girl is rocking it. So all I can say is thank you for taking that chance, making that investment, and for absolutely smashing it. It's honestly been an honor.
Yeah, it's just been such a game changer in life. I feel like my life is now kind of up a notch, and I'm enjoying it so much more. And I'm just, you know, it's you know, I think if you're really unsure, you've just got to, you know, if you were where I was, it's, you know, there's no point running your own business, doing your own thing without getting this right, because it's a scary, lonely journey, and you can feel so lost, and, you know, people don't understand, and you you can't expect them to understand, you know, if they're just in a normal job or doing whatever, and it's just such an important thing to do. And I just, you know, I know that this is going to serve me so well for forever. And also I would never, like 8 weeks ago, whenever, well, over probably 10 weeks ago now, if you had said to me, jump on a call and have it recorded with you, I would have gone, no way.
Yeah, I know. And now look.
Yeah, exactly.
You're smashing it. Thank you so much, Rachel, for sharing your story. I'm sure you will inspire other people. So thank you so much. Mwah. Take care. Bye.